Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Perfect World based on novel. So let's start. Xiahao had already come to the deepest point along the Tianhe River when there was a heated discussion in the outside world. He was fighting against Lei Guang to comprehend his own way. He has been away from the divine tablet for half a month and has been practicing. Holding the golden weed to observe its rune being in the thunder light on the bank of the Tianhe River is even more advantageous to comprehend the thunder. Boom. Surrounded by thunder, the river is surging and the waves are no longer calm. Roar, a huge swan soared into the sky, and finally split into pieces, and many abnormal lightning symbols appeared in the interweaving void. The beast decomposes and turns into dazzling lightning that surrounds Xiahao's side, making him even more blazing, finally broke through. Xiahao said to himself that he has been studying thunder all the time. He broke through the shackles of Swanni treasure art and took the step that countless powerful people desire, but it is difficult to take that step in his life. Thunder is the most terrifying power. Heaven's punishment suppresses all spirits of heaven and earth. Xiahao longs for this kind of power. He has been comprehending it recently, finally broke through, and took a very terrible step. Ups and downs have destroyed its beauty. Standing here, Xiahao silently comprehends this time. This time, he has harvested a tremendous amount of thunder power, breaking through the shackles and surpassing the limitations of the Swan Ni treasure technique. He has taken a big step. He is like a rock when he is still. Every pore is gushing thin electric light, has a mysterious and powerful thunder and lightning mana so strong. Even he himself is sighing softly. Mastering it will undoubtedly double the combat power. Thunder is one of the most terrifying powers in the world. When it reaches its extreme, it can make the world look pale. You must know that the Supreme Demon Lord finally perishes in the immortal way. It is difficult to taboo lightning to kill him, and his body dies and Dao disappears. Although Xiahao has intensively cultivated thunder, he has been unable to transcend within the framework of the Swanni treasure art until today. Going to the field of thunder and lightning to make this supernatural power continue to evolve. He has an ambition to continue to study and understand the method of thunder, and to integrate various lightning runes into one furnace to create taboo supernatural powers. The 10 treasures of the world are not weak, especially now that he cannot use the methods of the lower realm. In order not to be discovered by others, it is more necessary to break through and evolve to open other supernatural powers. A pair of silver eyes are opened like swords, shining in the distance, staring at Xiahao. Tianhe is crystal clear, flowing in the void with light, and the surrounding area is all bright. A little far away, the mist is still hazy and dim, just like the rest of Alcatraz, full of mystery and unknown. This is a ferocious beast approaching silently, and then bursting violently in the sky, rushing towards it with countless silver lights. All the evil spirits on Xiahao on Alcatraz know the thunder art. Xiahao turned around calmly. He had already noticed that the beast was approaching and raised his hand. A wave flew out from the palm of his hand and blasted towards this giant beast in the venerable state. It was a silver-white lizard. His body and cold eyes have lived in this area for hundreds of years, and even in the venerable realm, there are rare masters. Devil Island has the true blood of demon venerable, and the power of immortal thunder, nourishing some mysterious and powerful creatures, which are full of unknowns and dangers. However, the first time the two collided, this lizard let out a scream. With 400 years of skill, it was covered in silver lightning and was pierced with scales and blood. A thunderbolt cut forward tens of feet. The silver monitor lizard quickly dodged and spat out a protective treasure to block it, but it was too late. The lightning struck like a knife, and the treasure pierced through his leather armor and cut it in half. The blood rained, and finally, with a bang, the power of thunder exploded. The silver monitor lizard in the venerable realm shattered into a piece of ashes, and the power of thunder was extraordinary. Xiahao was very satisfied, and he continued to march deep along the Tianhe River for the past half a month. He has always practiced like this for a while, and then moved forward for a while. The thunder power near the Tianhe River is rich. This is a treasure land for practicing lightning runes. During this journey of practice, he stops and starts and takes out the plant every time he sits cross-legged. Studying the runes in the golden weed has gained a lot. It may have a miraculous effect to eat this grass at the deepest point. He whispered that the weed has no will and does not know how to practice, but it contains some mysterious lines. According to his guess, it is the remnants of the fairy thunder that ye scattered on Alcatraz Island, some of which were absorbed by this grass. This stone belongs to me, the stone that strikes the gods, and the strange grass is very gorgeous, and rooted in a strange stone with the size of a human head. It also contains both thunder and runes. The combination of them is like the scorching sun across the sky. After I understand it thoroughly, I will say that although these runes are incomplete, they have extremely high meaning. Shahao said that the reason why he was able to break through the shackles of the Swan Ni treasure technique has a lot to do with it, and he believes that once you eat this grass, after the baptism of a trace of immortality in the grass, your body will be closer to thunder, and your treasure general will improve. This curse is unbearable. The god-beating stone is full of anger and walks along the Tianhe River. The most terrifying thing is not the attack of those fierce beasts, but the power of the curse, which is invisible and intangible. This is why everyone knows that the fairy grave is at the end of the long river. The reason is that this curse is terrible. Once it is infected and cannot be eradicated, it can quickly weaken people. In the end, Daoji wears out and the body collapses. It is rumored that there was once a giant in the upper realm who died because of this. Many strong people dare not investigate again. This curse power is directly proportional to cultivation. The stronger the person, the stronger the feeling. Shahao said softly. This is the news he learned from other people after he came to Alcatraz Island. Maybe mortals suffer the least curse, but how can they fight against the fierce beasts along the way? Shahao can't move an inch. After walking another 800 miles, the pressure he received was even greater. This curse was terrifying. The lines on his body were coquettish and weird, but Shahao could still resist and could be continuously erased, but he also felt a kind of pressure. He had overcome it before. The curse of crossing the immortal palace, so I am not afraid of this mysterious force when confronted. Some experience is still moving forward. 2 days later, Shahao has walked along the Milky Way to a very deep place. He came out, hey, someone once retreated here and set up some magic circles. He quickly came to the river, and there was a rocky mountain hanging in the sky, towering, motionless and silent. In such a place, I have to be surprised that there are strong people like him who have gone deep into this place. He flew up to the cliff and saw a line of characters on a high platform. In an instant, his body trembled and he rushed over to rub the characters with his hands. The characters intermittently revealed the writer. Some emotions resonate with it, as if they really feel, how are you still alive? A simple sentence revealed a kind of regret, love, and desolation that made Shahao's eyes blurred on the spot and shouted, Grandpa, I'm still alive. When the 15th master got out of trouble and went all the way to Shi, he learned that his grandson lost his supreme bone. The grief and resentment that had disappeared for more than 10 years, but he didn't believe that his grandson died, and then went to Bulao Mountain to save his son, but he was robbed and came to the upper world by accident. Grandpa, I'm still alive, don't be sad, we will meet again. Shahao shouted, his voice shook Tianhe. He wished to see his grandfather tell him that he was still in the world. The 15th master entered the upper realm, even if he learned that his grandson, who had disappeared for more than 10 years, reappeared later and started a two-stone battle to push down the world's enemies. To feel sad again, because later on the 7 gods' lower realm, everyone knew that Shahao fought against them and finally died. Shahao's chest heaved for a long time before he calmed down. Grandpa, are you in front? He muttered to himself, wishing for a reunion, wanting to see the old man right away, telling him that he was not only alive, but also had to walk an invincible road. Shahao was overwhelmed with emotion, and even more hoped to become stronger while practicing on the road to the fairy grave. It's a long road. He was cultivating while he was on the road, adding up to almost a month, but it has not yet come to an end, and the curse light became more and more intense arriving here. Shahao showed a strange expression. He thought that everyone who entered Alcatraz together with him had stopped, but he didn't expect to see another person here. This person is amazing. Shahao was shocked. Looking at this person from a distance, he looks like a prehistoric giant beast. He feels that this person will not be worse than the first generations he saw after he came to the upper world. He is really too strong. That person's body exposed his real body, which surprised Shahao. He had seen this person before. His face was pale, he looked depressed, his eyes were dim, and he lacked that flying brilliance. It's him. Shahao suddenly stepped into Alcatraz Island first. When I saw this person, I knew that the absolute tyranny might be a first generation, and now it seems that this is probably the case. That person naturally also saw Shahao looking this way, and the eyes of the two met in the air and looked at each other from afar. Finally, Shahao stepped forward and said, "Brother, you are amazing. You have cultivated the treasure technique of thunder and Taoism to a state of perfection. Brother Dao, it's absurd." The young man shook his head. He was not as energetic as the ordinary young Qianjiao. It made people feel a little stagnant and lacked vigor. Perhaps it can also be said that he was very stable and simple. He exchanged a few words. Shahao was surprised knowing that this person's name is Li Yunsong from Qianyun State. Shahao's heart skipped a beat. He thought of the rumor and said, "Is it true that there is a double-pupiled person in Qianyun State who claims he shouldn't?" This matter has long been rumored that the double-pupil person was born and defeated a first generation in Qianyun Prefecture, which attracted the attention of all parties. Li Yunsong was silent for a while and finally nodded. "I am the one who fought against the double-pupil person." Shahao was stunned and did not think of one of them. The person involved is right in front of his eyes, beyond his expectations. This person is the first generation, but he was defeated in that battle. "I'm sorry, I don't know," Shahao apologized. "It's okay." Li Yunsong shook his head. He tried his best in that battle, but he still lost. It is indeed not an opponent. How powerful is that double-pupil person? Shahao's heart is not very peaceful. His first life-and-death battle, after his debut, was an extremely difficult battle with Shi Yi. He almost destroyed himself. Although I fought 500 moves with him, he suppressed him throughout the whole process. As soon as the technique comes out to suppress everything, it really is an undefeated myth. Li Yunsong sighed softly. He has never been defeated since his birth. Megatron Shuju is absolutely invincible among the same generation in Qianyun Prefecture. The aura completely suppressed him. Even if he used the unique Xeon treasure technique of the first generation, he was still invincible at all. Shahao's heart trembled. Li Yunsong was amazing. He could feel the terrifying divine power in his body, but he was still defeated. As the first generation, Li Yunsong had absolutely no moisture, and even should be the best among them. Shahao asked because there was a doubt in his heart, confidence and calm figure, slender eyebrows. Following Li Yunsong's description, Shahao's heart was shocked. How could that person be so similar to Shi Yi? Li Yunsong said it very frankly. After his defeat, he left Qianyun State to explore one legendary forbidden place after another in order to break through. "When I came here," Shahao heard and said, "coincidentally, I also want to study the law of thunder, so I went deep into this forbidden area." Although the two were on guard, they had a very speculative chat. In the end, they started to exchange ideas. They only used lightning runes and did not use other treasures. In Li Yunsong behind him appeared a ferocious bird spreading its wings and hitting the sky with endless thunderclouds covering the high sky. It was so amazing that even the Qianhe River burst into waves. "I got a secret book that recorded the law and way of the ancient ferocious bird Thunder Sky Sparrow," he said, Shahao surprised. It was definitely a terrifying supernatural power in Lei Dao. He didn't hide it and told himself that he had learned the treasure technique of the ancient Swan Ni. It was extremely fierce, but in fact, both of them were quite regular, and neither of them was a killer. It was just to understand the law and Dao. Quickly nodded and said, "Okay, we can exchange them." Ordinary people would never dare to be so hasty. They must be vigilant and extremely cautious, but these two people are very strong, and each is full of confidence. Li Yunsong took out a bone fragment, which recorded Lei Qiang's law and way in detail. This is an ancient cave he used to live in. Shahao, who was obtained from the mansion, saw that he was so frank and had nothing to hide. He took out a piece of bone and carefully carved the complete Swan Ni treasure technique, without any missing parts. Grass asked him to watch it and asked what it was and how valuable it was. "It's a great fortune." Li Yunsong was surprised. He had heard that there were some strange plants on Alcatraz Island that contained a trace of fairy thunder runes, which could be called priceless treasures. Refining it into a liquid, and then taking it and comprehending it calmly can make the law of thunder Dao perfect quickly. Li Yunsong said that if Shahao practiced the method of Lei Qianqiu and cooperated with this strange herb, he could practice it in a very short period of time. The miraculous effect. Shahao is overjoyed. He originally wanted to integrate various lightning runes to enter the realm of supreme thunder, and evolve it into a forbidden treasure. Now he can take advantage of the trend. Li Yunsong took out a piece of purple sacred wood. What is this? Shahao asked puzzledly. This is the thunder god tree soaked in the Milky Way for endless years, and it contains infinite thunder power, which can help me practice. Li Yunsong said. Shahao fell, taking a breath of air. The other party is really not simple, but dared to fish for things from the Milky Way. If ordinary people do this, they will be doomed. A few days later, Shahao sat cross-legged in front of him, and the strange grass began to melt into a golden liquid, and there were many runes flickering in it, reflecting the mystery of the heavens. Sitting cross-legged by the river, the golden grass in front of Shahao has 5 leaves, which are slowly melting away. The golden liquid contains endless thunder power. At this moment, the sound is endless, crackling and ear-shattering. It's troublesome and dangerous, although there are only a few runes in the strange grass, but he is so domineering and shocking that his body is shaking and the whole grass has melted. This is a puddle of golden liquid stronger than the sun, flowing in the void and emitting endless waves. Lightning rays of light, be careful. Shadao, who was playing God, was beside him, helping his protector, Shahao, to run the Thunder Dao treasure technique. Silently comprehended it, and carefully led a wisp of golden treasure liquid into his mouth. The consequences of boom. The sky thunder landed at a critical moment. He sprayed out a golden liquid. His mouth would explode. In this void, lightning flashed into pieces of mysterious runes. Reflecting the sky is extremely terrifying. The aura of immortal thunder is simply irresistible. Shocking God's stone, Shahao's expression became more dignified, and he used all his mana to suppress the golden liquid so that it could not overflow, and it all settled in the void. It's so powerful. He was secretly frightened. Even if there was only a trace of immortal thunder, it would be shocking. No wonder the Demon King would fall back then. One can imagine how powerful it would be if the endless immortal thunder descended from the sky. And there are only a few fragments in this golden liquid, which is enough to explain everything. Immortal aura is invisible in this world. Although it is a remnant, it is of great value. It must be grasped to understand it thoroughly and introduce it into the body. Shahao concentrates and uses all means to try refining again. This time, he didn't dare to absorb so much, but only a trace of gold liquid was inhaled, and it was refined and comprehended in the mouth. The power is too strong, so it doubts whether he can eat the big stone. Shahao began to use Thunder Sky Sparrow's Dharma and Tao to comprehend, borrowing the celestial thunder breath to baptize, and realized that this is an indescribably wonderful process. A ferocious bird emerges behind it. Purple feathers are spread out like swords. They are all fierce and fierce. The pupils are silver and the aura is compelling. This is Lei Qianqiu. Following Shahao's operation of this method, it manifests, accompanied by lightning. The sound of thunder is earth-shattering. Shahao is now enlightened, using the golden liquid to practice Lei Qiang's method. This kind of practice is more effective with half the effort, and with the assistance of the divine golden liquid, everything seems to be going smoothly. After half an hour, Shahao opened his eyes. He exhausted the trace of the golden liquid. Abnormally terrifying patches of symbols spread across the void. Thunder sparrows, swani, and the veins in the blades of grass fused together, making a loud sound, and the sacred time passed. Several days passed, and half of the golden liquid disappeared. Shahao, immersed in the realm of Tao enlightenment, sitting cross-legged and intertwining various lines on the body surface, is a rare experience. Ordinary people's epiphany will end soon, but this time, because of the breath of the immortal thunder, he continued to realize Tao and couldn't extricate himself. It took a few days. All the golden liquid disappeared and was refined by Shahao. He opened his eyes, and at the same time, a thunder sky sparrow soared into the sky, flooding the sky with endless thunder clouds. Surprised that this strange herb is indeed a priceless treasure, it helped him understand Lei Qiang's Dharma in the first place and reach the perfection state. Then he closed his eyes and tried to comprehend the integration of Lei Qiang's Dharma and the Lei Dao treasure technique he had mastered earlier. Together, he also merged the runes in the golden liquid, and in an instant, his thunder breath was strengthened, and his own thunder power suddenly soared. Obviously, the fused method is stronger than Swan Ni and Lei Qianqiu. Entering the thunder field is a very critical step. 3 days later, Shahao opened his eyes turned into lightning, and while he breathed, there were thunder clouds gathering and dispersing. You're ready? Help me refine this stone, Das Hensha said. Looking at the stone with a human head, he was a little scared. There is also thunder in the golden strange stone, and there are even more fragments of text no less than that grass. Okay, let's refine together. Shahao nodded and hit the god stone for the next few days, crying and howling in pain, happy that it was biting that strange stone every time he swallowed it. The small piece itself will be tumbling thunder and lightning, and in this process, Shahao helped it refine it, and observed and remembered all the remnants of thunder with double pupils, and also guided the thunder breath of the immortal way into the body to baptize the physical body. The two of them absorbed this thunder power, and finally consumed it in 6 days. The strange stone disappeared, and they disassembled it. The thunder rune was grasped by Shahao. The stone was eaten by the god-beating stone. The evolution of the treasure technique. On this road, he can be said to have advanced by leaps and bounds. The current thunder art is much stronger than his previous Swani art. The god stone also gained a huge harvest. When entering the upper realm, the passage collapsed, and it was cracked all over. Now it has healed and accompanied by thunder and lightning. It is extremely terrifying. From now on, please call me Lightning Stone. Hao said that he was walking along the Qianhe River, and he really wanted to see what was weird about the fairy tomb. Along the way, he looked into the river from time to time to see the corpses that occasionally floated by. There is also great fortune in the Milky Way, but it is too dangerous, and most people dare not move, except for the thunder and the curse. It is difficult to survive. Good thing that is the corpse of a real god. The sword she is carrying is absolutely terrible, but the distance is too far to be able to get the bone sword that floated on an ancient corpse in the middle of the river. The rune is powerful on the way of turning into ashes. I saw too many magical weapons accompanied by corpses, which made people excited, but couldn't get them in their hands. Soon Shahao's eyes turned red. He saw the corpse of a god. Even though he died, he was still holding a bone in his hand. The knife is a magic weapon of the gods. Helpless. He could only shake his head. Hey, it's almost the end. Look, the Ruguangtu Ocean is very different there. The power of the curse of the god-beating stone path is intensifying. Hold on and can hold on for a while. Are you going to see the fairy grave soon? Shahao said to himself. He felt that it would take 2 more days at this speed, because the speed on this section of the road was getting slower and slower. Watching Qianhe, hoping to find something. This time, I finally saw the opportunity. There was a corpse very close to the shore, holding a small cauldron in his right hand. Maybe it could also be called a Dan furnace. Only the fist was big, it was earthy yellow, and it was polished with precious bones. The cauldron and furnace, it is often called the cauldron together. This is the case. It can be called the cauldron. It can also be called the pill furnace. It is still intact in the Milky Way. Earlier, if there was a pill furnace to refine the weed, it would be much faster, and it would not be so hard. The corpse was washed to the riverside. Shahao used his precious skills to get the pill furnace, boom. What is unimaginable is that even in this way, Qianhe exploded with thunder and light, and all of them bombarded Xiong Shahao. He was very unwilling to do his best to resist, but he was suppressed by terrible divine power, and endless curses turbulently wanted to shatter him. In an instant, he was shocked by Qianhe, covered in blood, with endless electric lights entering his body to destroy his vitality, and a curse shrouded him, and this was because the corpse floated to the shore. The power of Qianhe's eruption is not the strongest. Shahao will hit the god stone and Huangdai put it in his body. Dongtian fought alone, grabbed the pill furnace with a rune, and quickly brought it over with thunderous light. When he came down, he showed a satisfied smile. The god stone came out of his body, and when he saw the furnace, he was surprised and said, "This pill furnace can't see through, it's a bit weird. This thing can be called a tripod or a furnace. Its 3 legs are wrapped around a real dragon. The cauldron cover is lying on the fairy phoenix." Episode 118 Part 1 end here.